which isn't normally a bad thing, but that was what it would do. Burger posting, it's lovely to see you. Welcome to my stream. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to see you, boy. Boyo. But yeah, today we are vibing. We are living our best absolute lives right now. We are telling some of them stories about past times and everything. Wow. Wow. But yeah. So I think another thing that I also want to talk about is like I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I did not grow up in a very financially stable household. I was how do I put this? I was poor. I was poor. And I think the most expensive thing that I would get when I was a kid was like transformer toys, and I would get like one transformer toy like a year, and I kept them. I kept them because I love Transformers. But because we were so like financially like unstable, we had a whole bunch of random shit that we didn't need, but we had like other stuff. I'm sorry you grew up that way. It's okay. I'm not even worried about it. We never went hungry, so I say that we were in a poor financial time at that moment, but it's nothing to really cry home about. Like I was fed, I lived, you know what I mean? And I'm better now. So we're doing good. But when I was a kid, we didn't have very much, and I was told that I was not allowed to cook on the stove when I was a kid, and I was like, okay, I won't cook on the stove, but I was hungry, so I did what I needed to do because my parents were not home, and I did what any normal person would have done. I grabbed butter, I grabbed bread, I buttered the bread, I put a piece of cheese, and I put it down on top of it, right? I was fixing to make a grilled cheese sandwich, but I remembered I was a smart kid. I wasn't allowed to touch the stove. So you want to know what I did? You want to know what I did? It was in the middle of winter, and we had a kerosene heater. So when we had the kerosene heater going, the top of the kerosene heater was way too hot to touch, and it could cook things. So what I did, I slapped it on top of the kerosene heater, slapped the other side until it was cooked, and then I ate a grilled cheese made from a kerosene heater. I would not recommend any of you doing this. This probably kills brain cells. No, as a matter of fact, I'm like 99.9% sure it does kill brain cells. Do not attempt to do that. Don't ever do the things that I do. I was a dumb baby child, dumb baby, okay? You don't repeat baby Kyohei's mistakes. You learn from them, okay? But that is what I did. And I enjoyed every fucking bite of it because I was spiteful and I was a smartass, and it made it taste 10 times better than it probably ever was. Your bravery, oh my god, I can't even speak English today. I think I'm having flashbacks of eating the kerosene grilled cheese sandwich, and my brain is killing its brain cells as I'm talking right now. Your baby brain went to a heater instead of microwave. Well, yeah, and the main reason why was because I couldn't reach the fucking microwave as a child because it was high up, and I had to ask for help to use the microwave. But I was a child, so I couldn't reach the microwave. So I was like, the kerosene heater is my exact height. I'll just cook off of it. What could possibly go wrong? Listen, I'm not telling you I might have health defects in the future because of it. I might have health defects in the future because of it, though. I mean that in a joking way. I don't think I actually will, but I think it's pretty funny. I think it's pretty funny. My brain was just like, let's cook on kerosene heater. This is the only logical explanation and only logical choice that I can do to enjoy myself and have a good meal. Oh, man. There's other things that I remember doing as well. Okay, this is going to sound really bad. But when I was a oh man, this is gonna sound really bad. When I was a little child, I had a gun. Now pause. Okay, I had a pew pew. I'm gonna say I had a pew pew. I had a pew pew when I was a child. It was a normal 22 rifle. It was child proofed and it was child safety. I was always around an adult. I wasn't allowed to go out to do anything with it by myself. I had to have parental supervision to use the pew pew. So my stepdad, being the my dad, being the responsible adult he was, decided to buy an enormous amount of ammunition for said pew pew. And I think it was we shot bottle caps off of bottles, and we also just shot soda cans so often, everywhere, anywhere. We would just find something to shoot with the pew pew in Minecraft. And it was the biggest fun that it was like the best fun that you could think of, because my dad was like really good at it. So he'd grab it, he'd put his eye in the scope, and he's like, "Watch this, son." Pew pew pew. He'd literally just pop the like caps off of the water bottles, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." They're crazy. Carolina, thank you so much for joining in. Or Coralina. That's exactly what I meant. I got it right the first time. Didn't even mess up. Yep, got it right. The fact that it was a real pew pew and not a Nerf toy is so, oh my lord. Well, yeah, and it's funny because I had an actual functioning bow before I had the pew pew. Or actually, no, I had the bow after I had the pew pew. So I had an actual bow afterwards, like bow and arrows for like hunting and stuff, and I would practice with it. And I got pretty good at it. I can confidently say that I know how to shoot an arrow with a bow. It was a compact bow, though, so I would have to be able to use one of those. They wanted you to be a true hunter. Oh, my lord. No, it wasn't even anything like that. They didn't want me to become a hunter. It was just the fact that where we were located, there wasn't very much to do. So it was either... David, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for saying hi, and thank you for joining in stream and checking it out. I appreciate it. Hi. But we were so bored there. Thank you for liking stream, by the way. But we were so bored there that all that we would do was all this dumb and stupid stuff. And when you have way too much free time and you think really dumb thoughts, you'll come up with the stupidest things to come up with and do on a normal everyday occurrence. Living in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, pretty much. And I love my father, but he had the tendency to make things go boom. I'm not going to get into it, but I will say there was a fridge, and I say that in past tense. And it is no longer a fridge. It is now garbage. It was like seeing one of those like Mythbuster explosions, but it was like like kind of like smaller. That's the best way I can explain it. I was trying to think of other things that ended up happening when I was a little kid as well. There was this... Okay. So, I'm going to share a very embarrassing story with you guys. Actually, let me think of another story real quick. Okay. I have one that involves a animal drinking beer, or I have one that's embarrassing. So for the one with an animal drinking beer, I want to see one in chat. But if you guys want to hear the embarrassing story, I want to see twos in chat. I don't know how many, like, how much of a reaction I'm going to get from this, but I want to see that. Two? Okay, so we got two so far. We got two. Okay. All right. So it looks like you all want to see me embarrass myself. Sounds great. Okay. Sounds like the majority vote. So, this was when the first live-action Scooby-Doo movie was playing in theaters. I'm not even joking you. I was a very little child. What ended up happening was I had a family member go, hey, get on this four-wheeler with me, and we're going to go driving on these rocky paths, this rocky road that's through here. So I hop onto the four-wheeler. We drive down. We're going super fast. I hear a pop sound. A rock shoots up. A little itty-bitty tiny pebble. A little tiny itty-bitty tiny pebble gets stuck in my eye. I start instantly crying. My eye is watering. My family member doesn't stop driving the four-wheeler. We get back to the place where I was living at the time. And I was just like, I have a rock in my eye. I'm sitting there looking like this. I have a rock in my eye. It hurts. And so we try to wash it out, try to get it out. Nothing stopped this thing. Like, it was just stuck in there. So when the rest of my family members came in, and they were like, oh my God, what happened to your eye? I'm like, listen, it's like this. I don't know what happened. It hurts though. And they're like, oh, that's a shame, because we were going to go see the Scooby-Doo movie. And I was like, Scooby-Doo? So I had a paper towel over my eye. And then when we drove all the way to the movie theater, I watched Scooby-Doo in half vision with one eye the entire time. And I kid you not, this is the most upsetting part about this entire thing. When I finally got out of the movie theater, I wiped the paper towel off of my eye, and it got the fucking pebble out of my eye. I watched the entirety of Scooby-Doo with one eye, and when I went out of the movie theater, it finally got out of my eye. I was angry. I was upset. And of course, whenever you're a little child and you say this sort of stuff, all the adults don't even think that you're telling the truth or anything like that. But I remember that day. I remember it. Thank you for so much for joining stream. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking time out of the day for joining in. Hi. But dude, it was such a crazy thing because it made me actually upset when the timing for it, when it got out of my eye. Like, oh, I was angry. I was an angry boy. I was a very angry boy. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a story. This is another embarrassing story because you guys like embarrassing stories, it seems like. So I'm going to give you guys a fun fact first before I tell the story. Did you know that if the sun is hot enough, it doesn't matter that you're wearing clothes or not, the sun will sunburn you through your clothes? It can. It has the ability to do that. You want to know? Okay, so now I can tell the story. That's the fun fact of the day. That's going to be useless knowledge in your head. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. That's in your head now. Cozy, thanks so much for joining in the stream. Thank you for taking time out of your day for joining in. Hi. But the reason why I say this is because it was summertime. I was a teenager. And I was at a family member's house. And we were outside for a large portion of the day. We went to a lake and we swam out in the lake. Very fun time. I enjoyed it. It was a friend's lake. It was a family friend's lake. We went in it. We had permission, all that jazz. We were there for hours. When we came back, I was not doing too good. I had sunburn all over my back, all over my legs. I'm like, at least I had swimming trunks on. That's fantastic. Fun fact. Remember the fun fact? Sunburn can go through clothes. So to give you an idea, my entire body was sunburned. The entirety of my body was sunburned. Imagine every step you take. Imagine every step, every movement of your body, sunburn. Ow. 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 Binkies, thank you so much for joining into stream. I appreciate that you take time out of your day for joining in. Hi. Thank you for liking stream. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a real experience that I went through. And when you're around 13 or so, and your entire body is burning like that, it's miserable. You don't want that in your life. It's bad. It's very bad. Thank you for liking stream, Binkies. Oh, thank you. Oh man. Okay. So I had a family member that would pick on me a lot. They would do these little pranks, and they would range from being really messed up to like really funny. So you got to think about the levels that we're talking about here. One day, this is baby Kyohei, by the way. This is like I'm 4 years old type baby Kyohei. So I walk up to this family member and I'm like, "Could you make me chalky milk?" And I said chalky milk because I was indeed 4 years old. 4 or 5, give or take. I don't really remember the exact year. But I was like, "I want chalky milk." He goes, "You want chalky milk?" I'm like, "I want chalky milk." So he got the Nesquik dust, put it into the cup, added the milk, mixed it up, made the chocolate milk. I was happy. I'm going to follow you on Twitter. David, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow on Twitter. I appreciate it. Thank you. So I drank this Nesquik chocolate milk, and I enjoyed every sip of it until I got done with it. And then I was like, I looked down into the glass, and I see these clumpy things, and it bothered me. I was like, what is this? My family member looks at me. He looks into the cup and goes, "Oh no, it looks like the rats got into the Nesquik." I threw up. I threw up in a trash can. And you want to know what they told me afterwards? They were laughing. They looked at me dead in my eyes as a little child and said, "Oh, it was just raisins." You don't mess. This is anyone here. If anybody's watching right now, take this as absolute truth, absolute promise right now. Look at me. Make eye contact with me right now. Do it with a child's Nesquik. Karma will spin back around so fast it will give you whiplash. You do not want that shit on your mind right now. But when that happened to me, dear God, it was very. I threw up and I was crying the entire time, and that my family member just thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And to this day, I'm still trying to figure out a way to get them back. I will get them back eventually. There will be a moment that I do this, but I will plan it in advance. It's going to be years in the making. Years of revenge building up for this. For the chalky milk revenge. I will get him. I will get him. It may not be today, may not be tomorrow, but I will find him. And I will prank him, John. Yeah. Yeah, they would also do other pranks on me. This was back before three-wheelers were illegal when I was a little kid. A three-wheeler, if you don't know, is basically like a four-wheeler, except there was one tire in the front, two wheels on the back. And that was what would normally happen. So I would sit on this three-wheeler, and this is the same family member that pranked me with the Nesquik as well. So it's a double whammy. I'm giving you guys a double story here about how I got bullied as a child. Reaper's Bunny, thank you so much for joining into stream. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come join in. Hi. So what I ended up doing was I would get on this three-wheeler and I would rev it up. And I'm going to change my profile picture by, all right, see you, David. You change your profile picture. I'll see you around, buddy. Pranking a 4-year-old, though. Yeah, kind of like a menace to society, but that doesn't really surprise me with the family member in specific. Thank you for the hi, Reaper. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Anybody that decides to give me gifts on here, I appreciate you guys, no matter what. So thank you so much. Thank you for the heart. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you. But I was on the three-wheeler, and oh my God. Dude, thank you. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Man, today's an awesome day. Look, it's you. It's me. Guys, it's me. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. That's awesome. As your profile picture. Let's go. So, I got on this three-wheeler, and I never had sent anyone. Aw, thank you, Reaper. I appreciate it. That means a lot to me. Thank you. My profile picture. I see you, David. So I was on this three-wheeler, and I would rev it up. And I don't know if you've ever been on a four-wheeler or a three-wheeler before, but when you're revving up an engine of something like that, it doesn't automatically go if it's on neutral. If it's on neutral, it'll stay revved up. So I was pressing on the gas, and I was like young, and I had no idea how a three-wheeler or four-wheeler worked. So I kept on revving up the gas. And my family member's like, keep going, keep revving it up, keep going. Thank you for the Yoshi, David. I appreciate it. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Thank you. So I keep on revving this up. It gets louder. It gets more gnarly, right? It's the whole thing's shaking at this point. My family member, thank you for the heart, Overwatch Jake. I thank you. Thank you for liking stream. And so I get to the point where this family member walks up to me and goes, hey, see that little clutch there that you have next to your foot? Lift it up. So I did it. I lifted it up, and so much energy was behind the three-wheeler. As soon as I lifted it up and I kicked it into first gear, literally it popped a wheelie, knocked me off of the three-wheeler, made the seat fall off of the three-wheeler, and I just landed on my back. I'm like, no, what have you done to me? My family member was laughing at me. My entire family was laughing at me. I was bullied, man. I was bullied. This was not good. This was not great. I was terrified. I was scared for my life. Maybe Kel went through it. I mean, it was kind of like how my family kind of went around it, though, because I wasn't the only one that would get bullied like this. My other family members got bullied like this as well. I had this one family member, right, that one of my family members, okay, I'm going to say Bob and Tom again, right? Bob being more of the parental figure here. So Bob decides to give Tom a phone. And so Tom gets the Christmas present. They open up the Christmas present. It's a box surrounded with duct tape. So they open up the first layer, get the next box out. It's surrounded with duct tape. Thank you for the calling on, David. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So then he opens that box up, takes out the next box over and over and over and over again. He gets to the final box. He takes it out. It's a out of the box flip phone. I don't know if you guys know what the size of flip phones were. They were not that big. They were not that big. And it started off with a huge ass box. David, I appreciate you using your coins on me. I really do. It means a lot to me. So thank you. You didn't have to, but I appreciate it. Thank you. But so it happened over and over again, and he had just a flip phone. Tom looked at Bob, and Bob was just like, "You like your present?" And it's like little stuff like that would also happen as well. The effort that requires. Oh yeah, absolutely. It took him forever to get that figured out. It took him forever to get that out of the box. And I'm not even joking about that. I think there was like another time as well. Reaper, thank you so much for the Oshi. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the Oshi again. Oh my God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means a lot to me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. So, thank you for the calling on. Oh my God, you guys are awesome today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Man. So, remember when I told you guys I wasn't that well off as a child? So, one Christmas, it was really bad. We didn't have hardly any money. And, uh-oh, what are you doing here, step bro? No, I'm kidding. Thank you for joining into stream. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come join in stream. Thank you, thank you. Do you get coins? Do you get coins from gifts? So I get paid a certain amount when coins are used for gifts. So when you use a gift for me, it actually supports me. It supports the person that you're giving the gift to. So I really do appreciate you guys. I really do mean that. You guys are really awesome. Because that means you're supporting the creator that you're giving these gifts to. If I send 30, how much do you get? I don't know the conversion rate on that. If you spend anything, it just goes to us, I think. I don't know the conversion rate on that. I like your avatar and character. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. My mama worked really hard to make my model look as good as it possibly could. Thank you, Nero, for the gift. Thank you. I mean it. Thank you for the TSKR. Thank you. Man, you guys are awesome. I don't deserve this, but thank you so much. It means the world to me. It really does, man. I'm trying to think of another time that we would end up bullying. Shush, you do. Okay, now I'll shut up. Oh, thank you for the rhythm. Holy crap. Thank you. Holy crap, man. Thank you for the laughing face now. Thank you. Thank you for the heart eyes. Thank you. Thank you for the heart. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Oh my goodness. This is wild. Thank you guys. Thank you. Oh man. Play Rec Room. I've actually never gotten into Rec Room. I don't even know the first thing about Rec Room. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm glad to have made your day. Oh, Reaper, that's so sweet. Thank you. What's a Rec Room? It's a VR game, I believe. Primarily a VR game. It's sort of like VR chat, but for not VR chat, if that makes sense. I'm new to AniLive. Well, hey, I'm glad to be one of the first people that you see around here. I hope to see you around more often, Reaper. I really do mean that. If you're ever curious about who's streaming what, you could always follow your favorite creator on AniLive by tapping the profile my profile that's on the top left corner up there, if you tap on it, you can see our Twitter accounts. And normally we announce before whenever we're going to stream. Same thing with the rest of my wave mates in Nexus. They always end up doing that as well. 9 times out of 10, they do. I'm normally that one person that tends to not do it once in a while by accident, maybe not, kind of, sort of, really. We don't get into that, though. JK, I get you. But yeah, it's like, I'm trying to think of another time that, okay. I'm going to tell you guys a story about how I got in trouble. I got really in trouble as a kid. Like, really, really big trouble. I got my ass whooped. And I that's me putting it lightly. It put the fear of everything of the world that is the world in my head that day. Vigio, thank you for joining into the stream. Good to see you on Twitch. Hi. Oh my god, I haven't been looking at it, but it's good to see you. Kyohei Puff, thank you so much for joining into stream. Thank you so much for liking it. Thank you for taking the time of your day to come check this out. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. But I got in trouble so bad that I got my ass whooped because of it. So what I ended up doing when I was a little baby Kyo, I had a pellet gun. Nothing good happens whenever you give a child a pellet gun. If you give a child anything that shoots, it's a bad idea. Big rule of thumb. Automatically keep that in your head, right? Keep that in your noggin. Do not give shooty pew-pews to children. Hi, man. How are you? I'm doing okay, Vigia. Thank you for asking. But I had a pellet gun. Was that before the big pew-pew or after? This was before. This was before the big pew-pew. And the big pew-pew was only a 22, so it wasn't even a big pew-pew. So I decided to shoot my pellet gun one day. And I just got in trouble. Not like trouble. I was like pissed off because of something. I don't remember what I was pissed off about. So I grabbed my pellet gun and I grabbed the pellets. I loaded into it. It was a breakdown barrel. You load it into it. You break it back up. Actually, no, it was a pump one. So you had to pump it a few times after you put the pellet in there. So I did that, and I kept on pumping the pellet gun. I shot it. I aimed at a tree, and I shot the tree. Did it again, second time, third time, fourth time, over and over and over again. And then I got a can. I sat that out there, shot it a few times. To the left of the tree was a family member's vehicle. I think you guys can picture what is happening right now. So, I think you guys get a mental image of what I am talking about. Oh no, you didn't. Yep. So, because I was angry and I was upset, I pumped up my pellet gun with the pellet in there. I acted like I was going to shoot the vehicle. And it was one of those trucks that had those camper shells on the back of it, right? It had that camper shell in the back of it with the windows in it. And so when I acted like I was going to shoot it, I actually pushed the trigger and I shot not one window out, both windows out of the camper shell off the back of the truck. It shattered my life flashed before, my very, very short and uneventful life. I put my own fear into myself. I put the pellet gun down. I went back inside. I laid back down. Looking at me. Kyo, yes. Come with me. Oh. So I go outside, and then there's the scene of the crime. You shot the camper shell out of the back of my truck, didn't you? No. I was trying to shoot the tree and it ricocheted and hit your camper shell. That's exactly what happened. Kill. Yes. That is not what happened. The physics, it's right next to the tree. See? It's literally right next to the tree. That's what happened. It bounced off the tree and hit your truck. I didn't mean to. Just admit that you shot my truck. I shot your windows out of your truck. Don't you ever lie to me. Now come inside. Why? My family member pulls out a belt. Stares at me. Like that? Like what I just did just stares at me. Just. Oh. Just to say I couldn't sit down for a few hours was an understatement. I also saw my life flash before my very eyes was another understatement. And to say I learned my lesson to not play with pellet guns in that manner is a very big understatement. Kyo's butt was redder than Rose. No. Oh, no. Oh, crap, Ricochet. The belt. Yeah, that happens. Yeah. I'm alive, guys. I survived the belt. I lived to tell the tale. Now I want to tell you guys about another story that I have. My dad had a wooden paddle with holes. I wish my dad used a fucking wooden paddle. Because that belt just sucked. It was broken, worn down. And I feel like he would probably hit me with it a lot less than with the belts. Because here's another story I got to tell you. Oh, no, you don't. You're probably right. But I am going to say this part so you understand where I'm coming from when I say this. When I was in elementary school, they had this tally system. And it was for every single time you misbehaved in class, you had to, they marked you down. They put a tally on a piece of paper with your name on it. And at the end of the week, you had to have your parents sign for it and bring it back to the teacher. So, I had over 40 tallies one week. And I'm not joking, it was 40. It was 40 tallies. 40 of them. Not 4, not 10, 40. I went to my family member's place to have them sign for it. And I had my family member look at me and go, for every tally mark you have, every single tally mark you have on here, I'm going to spank you with the belt. I had trouble sitting for a good solid week. It was bad. It was bad. He was like, I understand you getting 5. I understand maybe even 10. 40? I was like, yeah. And then there was some times, and this would happen near the end of the year, they would stop doing the tally marks. They stopped doing the tally system near the end of the year. And they were starting to slow down on giving us the tally papers. So what I did was a willow switch. I've heard of it, but I've never had to go through it. The belt was the extent of what I had to go through. I know the wooden paddles are pretty brutal because it does have the holes in it, but I also feel like I I had whelps. Yeah. Yeah. This is too relatable. Thank you, Vigio. Thank you. Oh, man. For everybody that is watching right now, I just want to give a great, big thank you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come watch me be stupid, to talk to you, to tell these really silly stories. It means a lot to me that you take the time out of your day to watch me. My mom, on the other hand, hit with extension cords, spoons, and belts. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I never angered. I don't know how to explain this because I didn't want to. It was kind of a chaotic time when I was a child. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you guys got abused physically. You say abused, but for me, that was just the way of life, and it wasn't really abuse because after we got our punishment, it was just sort of like they were back to normal. It wasn't like no grudge was held, for me at least. It was just kind of more like just a way of life. If you did something bad, then that was just how it was. My mom was abusive. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Reaper. I really am. It's really hard to have that sort of thing. That's why I live with my dad. I understand that. I really do. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I really am. But at least you're with your dad now. Hopefully the situation is a little bit better. And if not, then I hope that you are able to find the help that you need. I really do. I mean that. So I've moved on. That's good. That's really good. That's the big move. Honestly, if you can move from it, that's the best way to go about it. It really is. I'm gonna say thank you guys. I really gotta say thank you. Every single one of you. Burger Posting, thank you for restreaming me. It means a lot to me. Even though you don't get very many views on my streams, I still appreciate you restreaming me. It does mean a lot to me. Gohan, thank you for watching me. Reaper, thank you for joining in. Thank you for anybody that's watching me. Vigio, thank you for watching me. It means a lot. I do this because I enjoy it. I do this because I enjoy talking to you guys. I do this because of you. And without you, I wouldn't be doing this. And that's my genuine. That's me being honest with you. You gained a lifetime follower. Well, I appreciate that, Reaper. It means a lot. Thank you. It really does. Oh man. I try to be around when I can. Go on. You don't. I know that you do, and I appreciate you so much. I really do. It means a lot. It does mean a lot. So, I'm going to tell you guys the longest punishment I ever had in my entire life. This one is a little bit less. I don't know if this would be. Yeah, okay. So, this was the longest lasting punishment I ever had in my life. So, when I was a child, I was not the best at taking tests. I couldn't sit down and do tests. No, that wasn't it. I could do tests. I just couldn't do homework. That was what it was. I couldn't sit down and force myself to do homework. If you gave me a test, I was a good test taker. That was what it was. So, me having that type of learning mentality and there not being any way to accommodate for people that did their homework like that or did their work like that, it was really hard for me when I was in school. And I got really bad grades. I had a report card, and 4 out of the 5 classes that I had were Fs. And I didn't want to bring that report card back to my family member. So what I did was I knew that when I got off of the bus and I checked the mailbox, that I was the first person to touch the mail. So during Christmas, I took my report card that came into the mail because I would volunteer to go get the mail. I took the report card and I threw it in a creek that was right across the street from where I lived, because I didn't want my family members to see, Reaper, it's good to see you in Twitch chat now. Switching back and forth, I see. But when I did that, my family member noticed, because they were like, why hasn't your report card been back? Why hasn't your report card been back? So I kept on lying for about 2 months about it. When those 2 months finally passed, I came back home one day and my family member was sitting there in the kitchen, looked at me. I looked at them and they were like, I called your teacher today about your report card. Oh. They were sent out during Christmas break. Oh. That's weird because we didn't get it. Where's the report card? I was like, I threw it in a creek. So you lied to me that you had good grades. Yes. And that led to what was my longest duration of a punishment I have ever had in my entire life. And this punishment was, I was not allowed to play video games. I was not allowed to have electronics. I was not allowed to have games. If I wanted to go hang out with friends, I had to ask permission first. Only one of those stuck. Only one of those stuck forever. Well, not forever. Only one of them stuck for the longest amount of time. And that was no video games. When you're a teenager, I had an Xbox 360. Yeah, guys. It's pretty wild. So I had an Xbox 360. And I was not allowed to use it. And when I mean I wasn't allowed to use it, I'm looking at you guys right now. I was not allowed to use it on a normal basis without permission for 4 years. For 4 years. By the time I was even allowed to play on my Xbox 360, I wasn't given permission to play it. I was in high school. And it was just because it was an Xbox 360 and it was so out of date, they let me play it. For 4 years? Yeah, for 4 years. For 4 years, it was like that. And the only time that I was allowed to play on my Xbox was if I had good grades and it was the summertime. That was the only, because of summer break. Those were the only times that I was allowed to play it and was given permission to play it. Otherwise, it would get unplugged, taken out of my room, left into an extra room to sit there. And so I would sit there and try to figure out things that I wanted to do. So I did what any normal person would do. Because when you're a teenager, you know, with the way that your hormones kick in or your testosterone kicks in, puberty comes into play. I wasn't allowed to have electronics. And the electronics part of it lasted for about the same amount of time on and off because I kept on staying up late at night. Well, I have insomnia. I have trouble sleeping. But also, I was 13 at the time. So I would watch these videos on my smartphone. I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning one time. Long story short, I no longer had that phone. It was no longer in workable condition. I was not allowed to have anything like that. But luckily for me, I hid, and this is embarrassing for me to say this, but I hid my Nintendo 3DS under my bed. I hid it under my mattress so that way I was able to have access to the internet. And when I mean the Nintendo 3DS was kind of cool for this, it was really cool. You couldn't watch regular videos on it. You had YouTube, you had Netflix on it, but they sucked. They sucked badly. Yeah. I won't sleep due to okay. Who tried to take when I was gotcha. I'm sorry to hear that, Reaper. I really am. But it was really crazy to me. It really was. Because and when I mean 4 years, I mean genuinely 4 years. Like, this was my entire middle school life that I was not allowed to play video games. This was like the key essential point of when you should be playing video games, when you're a child. He came out of the bedroom closet. Oh my God. But when I went to go play video, oh God, the bedroom closet. That's crazy. But it lasted for so long that I couldn't relate to my friends at that time. Because I couldn't have that social standing with them. It's like, oh, did you play this video game? Well, I can't play video games. Oh, well, can you play this? Well, I can't play it because I'm not allowed to have electronics. Oh, well, can you message me on this? I can't. I don't have a phone. And when that happened over and over again, it left me to be a little isolated for myself. And it also didn't help that I was already antisocial to begin with. So it just layered on top of each other. I have to go for the evening, but I hope you enjoyed your stories and have some of them were sad. Lots of love. Gohan, you have a great rest of your night. Take care. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever. Take care. Thank you so much for joining into stream. It means so much to me that you were able to make it in here, even for a moment. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I have a great fear of darkness and closets now. Oh, gotcha. Understand why I'm afraid of dark and closets. I get you. It's very when you have traumatic things, it's really hard to explain that to people. Because for me, I don't know about you guys, but whenever something traumatic happens, I just don't want to talk about it. I try to gloss it over. I don't pay any mind to it. I just try to pile through it because I don't know. I feel weird about that. Am I weird for that? Am I because because that's just how I ended up dealing with that sort of stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm not. Who knows? Not really. Yeah. I also, and this is, I have longer hair nowadays because when I was it's so weird with like parental figures or like family members will try to do to be like, oh no, that's not social norms. And then it's just like you look back at it, it's weird. Because I was not allowed to have longer hair when I was a little child. I was not allowed to have longer hair. It was really weird to me. Because this family member kept on, whenever it grew about maybe like 3 inches off of my head, they would end up shaving it down to a 1 with like an electric shaver. And that was my haircut. It was like a military hair buzz every single time. And when I finally got to a point where like I was able to grow my own hair out, I was like, why not? I'm also gonna dye it. So I grew my hair out. I dyed it for the first time, and it was crazy. I enjoyed it. That's actually not right, dude. Yeah, I didn't have very much of a say-so in it on a normal basis, but it didn't bother me too much. It bothered me whenever I grew it out to a point where I started to like my hair. And then it was just sort of like, oh, well, your hair looks messy because you don't, because it looks weird. It's like, well, it's because it's in that middle awkward phase. It's like whenever you shave your head and you're trying to grow it with a specific look, yeah, it's going to look awkward until you finally grow it out to the point where you like it. And so that was never like, that never clicked with this family member. So I just always got it cut really short. I had a long hair phase, but it looked good, but it was too hard to manage. Oh, by the way, I'm 30 and sleep between darkness and nightlight. Gotcha. I get you. I get you. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's about your own comfortability. I have, this is like a real fact that I'm sharing with you guys right now. I have tinnitus in my ears, and I cannot go to sleep without an air conditioner or a box fan next to me. If I do not have one of those two things with me, I will play a YouTube video of those sounds so that way I am able to go to sleep. Because without that background noise, I, for the life of me, cannot fall asleep. It is very difficult for me to do so. It's, it doesn't, like, so I don't want to, oh man, this is kind of it's kind of a tough subject for me to talk about right now. But it's I'm going to tread very lightly when I explain this to you guys. So I'm bipolar. I am actually diagnosed as bipolar. And I don't hide that from anybody. I don't want to hide it from you guys. I'm very open about it because that's just how I am as a human. Well, not how I am as a human being. That's just something that I have to deal with on a daily basis. I think more people should be able to talk out about it and be able to put more awareness towards it so that way it's more understandable and talk about it as an open platform. And it kind of bothers me that there's not very many things that do that. But I can switch from either happy to sad. It's like a roller coaster. You hear that all the time as well. But there's also very specific things because people think that bipolar is the same for every single person. It is very much so not the case. It's different from person to person. It varies from person to person. It depends on what triggers it. If you have panic attacks, if this or that happens, there are so many factors that go into play with it. I wish more people would end up talking more about it onto an open platform like this and be like, hey, this is an actual issue people have. You okay right now? Yeah, I'm okay right now. I'm okay 9 times out of 10. It's just it's it's not like to a point where it's concerning. I get very sluggish when the downs are down. Like when the highs are up there, I'm at 100%. I'm running full power. I'm running full force. I'm completely fine. When I'm at the lows, I'm very sluggish. I've gotten very, very, very low, but I haven't ever gone back down to that point. I'm much better than where I was years and years and years ago. Like where I'm at now, I'm fully at peace and I'm fully happy with how I'm able to deal with it. But being able to talk to somebody about the situation, understanding what is your issue, knowing and acknowledging it, those are very huge hurdles as a person to understand. Those are very huge hurdles for you as a person to even accept, and for those around you to accept as well, because some of them won't even accept that you have those issues. And sometimes you just it's just something that just happens. It's not necessarily bad. Very glad to hear it. Yeah. I have panic attacks. I never leave my house because if I do, I panic about a panic attack and I suffer about seizures. I get you. I'm sorry that you suffer from seizures and all that. I understand. I get you. Yeah. It's being able, and it's very hard. And I'll be perfectly frank. I'll be the first one to say it to you guys. Getting help is not easy, because when I got help for what I needed, because I'm to the point where luckily I don't need medication anymore. If I had the medication, it would probably help me a little bit more, but I don't need the medication anymore. And I'm very happy about that. And not everybody needs medication as well. It's a person by person basis. And going out there and even asking for help, as in like a therapist or a psychiatrist, is a very tedious process, and it's very stacked against you, because this was the process for me in America. Was one, you had to go see a doctor. When you went to go see that doctor, they had to refer you to a therapist. The therapist then puts you on a wait list for 4 months. Well, you're having mental issues, so you have to wait for 4 months. So you wait for that 4 months and you get evaluated. You get evaluated and you come in the next month after that to see the therapist. The therapist then recommends you to the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist then ends up waiting about 2 to 3 months to look at you and then gives you medication that you need. It's a very long and tedious process to get help for yourself. It really, really is. That was the process that I ended up going through. And for other people, it could be impossible to get help. Are therapists expensive there? So it depends on where you go to and whether or not your health insurance covers your therapist. I was very fortunate that my insurance covered both my therapist and my medication. I didn't have to pay for either of them. So it was completely covered for me. I never had to pay a dime, never had to pay a cent for anything. But the fact that the process is so slow, that somebody that is having mental issues has to wait for 4 months to then be referred, then to be reevaluated, then to be referred to another person, then to be reevaluated by that person. And then every 6 months you get reevaluated again to see if you're even eligible to even continue having a therapist or a psychiatrist. It is not a very welcoming area, but you have to have that dedication. Otherwise, it's so easy to give up. Once you have it, it's amazing. Once you get there, it's great to have that help. But getting there is the hell. Getting there is the very difficult part. because no matter what, you're still going to have those mental issues through those 4 months, through that evaluation, through seeing this the therapist, then even being referred to back to somebody else who could help you as well. Like, so many different levels, it can take you so long. And that's why it's important to have positive people around you, people that care about you. Because when you don't have that people around you and you're not very clearly at a good mental state, it makes things very difficult for people. And it made it very difficult for me not to have as many people, because I had some good people, but they weren't there for me. They were physically there, but they weren't there for me, which made it difficult. So when you finally get that help and you're able to have those conversations you need to have, being diagnosed with things that you didn't think was a possibility, and then figuring out how to resolve these issues with different treatments, different plans, different ways to help yourself. It's very vital to know this when you have these issues. And I think it's important because I don't think it should be knocked off as, oh, well, I don't have these issues, I just need to suck it up. When there should be something, you don't have to live with it your entire life. Some people are able to feel better after a while. I am to the point where I still know I have bipolar. I'm probably going to have it for the rest of I know I'm probably going to have it for the rest of my life. But it's never going to get as bad as it was because I know how to calm myself down. I know how I handle things. And I know exercises, I know breathing techniques. And getting help is always the first step into doing that, of being better, trying to help yourself. It's like you have no choice but to distract yourself. Hope having friends help. Yeah, it does. It really does help having friends. Yeah. Kyo- Pat, Kyohei, and gang. I'm just being honest with you guys because it's something I'm very passionate about. Mental health is something I'm very passionate about. And I think it should be talked to. I'm not going to sit here and be a therapist because I'm not licensed. I'm not in that step to person. There's no way I can be when I myself have issues. What I can tell you is that there are resources that you can get. There are people who can help you. There are definitely people who do care about you. Whether you want to believe it or not, a random ass person can still care about you. And it's insane to think about that. It really is. But it is very true. Man, I'm sorry I'm getting like really deep into this, but this is like one of the very big things that I'm passionate about. And it's because it was such a very big portion of my life. It affected me so positively and so negatively at the same time that I want to be able to not help people myself, but I want to be able to lead people to help themselves at some point. You know what I mean? Like my goal, anybody's goal for VTubing, anybody's goal for streaming is to become the biggest that they possibly can at something, right? That's true. To make a living off of it. And I would love that as well. But I was always asked, what is your biggest thing that you want to do for streaming? What is the biggest thing that you want to do for VTubing? And I've always wanted sorry, my voice is getting a little shaky because this really doesn't mean a lot to me, and I'm hoping I'm able to do this in the future at some point. One of the biggest things for me was I want to do a charity stream for like mental health awareness. And it's definitely something that I think at some point, like I want to try to do the biggest event that I possibly can in the future. I'm small. I'm a very small streamer. I'm a very small creator. Whatever. Like, I want that to be my goal. That is my goal. Like, if everything else lines up along the way, that's completely fine with me because I love streaming. I love talking to you guys. I love having funny moments, but I also don't want to act coy and act like I don't think these other things exist as well. Because that would just make me feel like I'm playing ignorant. And I don't want that. Thank you, Reaper. It really does mean a lot to see that. David, it's good to see you. Hi. I'm talking. So there's Twitch chat and you guys. So I'm kind of switching between both of them right now. My commie is currently fighting in court over her status of having fibromyalgia. That's crazy, honestly. I'm sorry to hear that. It doesn't matter. I'm back for if I'm back on for to speak Russian, huh? Okay. But to you guys on Twitch, and I think mental health is a very big thing that people don't consider. And I think people are very afraid to talk about it because it is a very delicate subject matter. But I also think that just acting like it doesn't exist there, if it is a big part of your life, is also kind of a disservice. I don't know. Maybe that's just me thinking that. Because if you have the power to help somebody or at least give them the resources, for me, morally, I don't feel right not at least saying something about that. I feel like it's needed to give that to somebody. I really do feel like it's needed. Oh, it's good to have a support dog. Yeah. Yeah. I had I used to have a black lab pit bull mix. Her name was well, I'm not gonna say her name, but she was a black lab pit bull mix, and I loved. Thank you for the hi, David. I appreciate it. Thank you. But I loved that dog. She helped me through a lot of bad things, honestly. Thank you for the peak pen lights, David. Thank you. Kuna, thank you so much for joining in to stream. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come join in. Hi. Will not be allowed any. He would not allow anyone around me when I have seizures, though. That's what failed him as an actual support dog. Gotcha. Thank you for liking stream, Kuna. I appreciate it. I was always. I think admitting that honestly, that if you end up having something that's an issue, Kuna, if you don't know what's happening right now, Burger Posting's streaming on Twitch, and I'm looking at Twitch chat and this chat at the same time, so that way I'm able to have a conversation with both of you. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know. But I always think that mental health is something that people don't consider, and because it is a very delicate subject. I've said that, but I also think it's also hard for people to admit that there's something wrong. It's that first initial step of, oh, I might have something wrong with me, or trying to seek if there is something wrong. That is also one of the hardest steps as well. But if the resources are out there and people are willing to do the research for themselves and they end up thinking, oh, I need to check up on this, and it's a solution. I have about 6 minutes left to be on here. Oh, Kuna, well, you know what? I hope that for the next 6 minutes that you're on here, that it's educational for you. I don't know if it is or not, but I appreciate you. I thank you for taking the 6 minutes left that you have to spend it on watching me. It means a lot to me. It genuinely does. Thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate every moment any of you watch me. It's normally hard because people brush it off when you tell them. Yeah, a lot of people do tend to do that. And I think that's also what deters people from looking for help for themselves as well. I think if anybody, because for me, I know what I went through with stuff. If somebody told me, hey, I'm having this issue or that issue, I would give them the immediate resources that they need. And I've had people tell me to just get over it. You don't have those issues. You just need to suck it up. You have everything good in your life. What do you have to complain about? That sort of stuff. And that is not the right mentality to have for when people need help. You need to give them the resources so that way they can come across that realization themselves. You can't make that decision for somebody that thinks that they have those issues. That's why that we have trained professionals. That's why we have doctors. That's why we have people to help us through these things, because it's not just a one-off thing. It's not just you trying to be special. There are multiple people that have had these same issues. And getting help is the best way to figure that out. Seeing a doctor is the best way to figuring that out. Looking at your possible resources is the best way to help yourself. Is the best way for anybody to help themselves. It is so important for that. Yeah. Staying in this live is really touching. Kuna, I appreciate you sticking through here. Thank you, thank you. But and everybody in Twitch chat, thank you for staying in here as well. I'm looking at all the messages right now. It's just I want to get my thoughts out and then look back at messages back and forth over and over again to make sure that I'm able to communicate and talk to everyone, because it is important. I don't think there's anything in this world that wouldn't say it's not important. And I'm not saying I want to be like a face of somebody. Oh, I don't want to be the face of mental health for people. I just want to be able to be a resource. I want to be able to give that resource to people. Like, hey, here's these websites. You need these. Here's doctors. Like, I want to be able to give that to people at some point. You know what I mean? Because you can't give that to everybody, unfortunately. The people that you have conversations with, you can tell them that they need to go find out things. And that's the best that we can do. But eventually, I want to end up being able to give resources to people, because that's what I needed. That's that's really that's what I needed when I was going through my stuff. And it's what I know other people need when they're going through their stuff. Not to be just shoot off, to be given resources. Sorry, I don't it means a lot to me. I'm sorry. I'm I'm trying to collect myself here. We need resources more than we need people just telling us to get over it. Because at the end of the day, telling somebody to get over something that they're feeling on a normal, everyday occurrence for a majority of their life doesn't help anyone. It really doesn't. Kuna, thank you so much for joining into stream. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your night. Hopefully everything goes well for you. Reaper, I'm sorry that you've been going through everything. I've been looking at Chad. I'm sorry that you've been through all of that. And I'm not saying, because cutting people off is your own decision. It's not always the choice that you have to make for everyone, because you can still get help for yourself and still have those people around you, just not talk about it. That's a very viable option. I'm just not going to be on a platform and not be able to talk about it because it's such a meaningful thing for me. I'm not going to sit here like it's not a thing. I'm not going to tell you that what you went through or what you've gone through is just you needing to get over it. Anybody that goes through those things need to have resources so that way they can do the research for themselves, have those conversations with professionals themselves to help themselves. Every person okay, because I'm not going to be these next things I'm about to say are my opinion, so take it with a very big extra grain of salt. It may not be true for everyone because there's always going to be cases where that's not the case. Situations are always going to be different, but in a general sense, I think everybody deserves to be happy, a chance to be happy, a chance to get the help that they need, a chance not to feel 100% normal, because if everybody was normal, then that would be boring, obviously. But a chance to be able to understand who they are for themselves instead of being told who they are. That is my opinion on that. And I don't like it when that happens for other people. It's upsetting. It only brings pain normally. And when you're dismissive of somebody's needs and you don't acknowledge it, you don't talk to them, you don't communicate. If you can't communicate, that's different than if you don't communicate. Obviously, if you're somewhere across the world, or if you're doing something and you can't reply with somebody at that very moment, that's completely different than being dismissive of somebody that's talking to you right then and there, who needs your help, obviously. But when they ask for your help, when people ask for your help, for me, I don't think I could hesitate but to try to help them find the resources that they need. Because I've been there. Sorry to even for even opening up the can of worms. I truly am. No, Reaper, you have nothing. You have nothing to apologize for. You have nothing to apologize for. sometimes I get how like trauma dumping on people can be a little bit much for them, and I completely get that. And I'm not saying that it's fully justified all the time, but when you need to have a conversation with somebody, sometimes it just happens. And that's what streaming is having a conversation. There's nothing wrong with that. You you needed to have this conversation with somebody, with chat, with me, with somebody. You had to. Because it's probably something that you were going through. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me as a person talking to you, and for anybody that needs this type of help, I urge you to please genuinely get the help that you need. Talk to the people that you need to talk to. You you will be you won't be there may not be a chance where you could be 100% healed. It's a very stark truth, but it can make your life significantly better. It could improve it by leaps and bounds. Like if you got a cut on your finger and it leaves a scar, the scar's not going to permanently fade away. It will stay there, but it will be there for you. It's the same concept. I want to let you guys know that the stream is going to be ending here in about 5 minutes. I feel like a lot of people didn't expect this conversation from me, didn't expect me to talk about this stuff when I talked about stories and stuff. And none of this stuff ever goes to plan either. It just spur of the moment stuff. It always happens. Wish we had more people like you, Kyo. Vigio, I appreciate that. Thank you. But I think it's a very important message that needed to be said. And I'm not going to be the person to drive away from it. I'm very timid when it comes to a lot of topics, but this is one of those topics where I will not back away from. I will stand my ground, and I will express how I think about it, because it was something that was a very big portion of me. I don't know, or something that I went through as well. Reaper, you're fine. I said you were fine. You are completely and utterly fine. People need to hear these conversations. I'm sure a lot of the stuff that you needed to hear as well. From the sounds of it, I hope that I didn't cause any issue with you. I just want everyone to seek help for themselves, to be happy, to be healthy, to take care of themselves, to dress well, to succeed. Because everybody deserves to have that chance. And sometimes you're not dealt with the greatest hand from birth. Sometimes you got to play with the cards that you do have. And you can just do the best that you can with that. And I think getting help is just one of those steps, one of those cards that you need to add to your hand. I'm going to go ahead and wind down for tonight. I'm going to wind down for the night. I'm going to start saying my goodbyes right now. For everybody that's watching on Burger Postings stream, thank you for watching for a single moment. Thank you for listening to me have this conversation with you. Thank you for everybody that's in chat that I'm talking to. Reaper, thank you for allowing me to talk about this. Thank you, everyone. And I'll end it off with the things that I always say. Don't have a great evening, have a great morning, have a great night, have a great afternoon. Make sure you eat, sleep, and drink. And I challenge you to message somebody that you haven't talked to for a very long time. Tell them that you love and that you care about them. Because sometimes people in your life need to hear that. Time is very limited, and sometimes they just need to hear that. Just say to somebody, like, I care about you. You can make it somebody's day. Just like that. Just by reaching out to them. And I appreciate every single one of you for showing up today. Thank you. I genuinely mean that. Because you gave me your time to have these conversations, to watch me be stupid, and then also have these conversations. And I wouldn't be here without you. Have a great rest of your night. I'm going to go ahead and head out. But as always, take care, okay?